Decided to become a realtor again. A lot of people thought they were watching that already, but I've got to come clean with you guys because I wasn't really a realtor. Secret's out. Secret is out. So let's step back a little bit. Let's go back and rewind for a little bit, make a video out of it. So you thought you were watching a realtor, you come publicly, say you weren't a realtor, which makes you look like a liar now, and now nobody wants to watch you. I wouldn't go that far, first off. I will say that for the last 3.5 years, I have not been a realtor, okay? I've been a licensed real estate agent, I have my real estate license, but I actually haven't really been transacting any public transactions on the MLS. I've been kind of taking a different route with living this cross-border lifestyle and building out a YouTube channel and working a part-time job to make ends meet. But I really haven't been in the real estate business since the end of 2022, early 2023. So what does this mean moving forward? Well, what it means moving forward is I'm the type of person that when I say I'm going to do something, that becomes something that occupies my mind a lot, right? People saw this when I was doing the crypto channel. People saw this pretty much in every single thing that I've done. Because that's just the type of person I am. All right, that's just the type of person I am, and I seek excellence because I don't think perfection is necessarily. You can't reach perfection, right? But if you seek perfection, you can perhaps create excellence. And I've decided that I was kind of holding back in this area of real estate business and looking at it from a commentator standpoint, right? I was giving you market updates. I was talking about, Tijuana real estate, San Diego real estate. But I didn't really step into the business side of stuff. And it's a lot different because I'm really good at analyzing like market trends, data, assimilating that data, and then, giving it in a way where it's enjoyable for people to watch. Because a lot of the data is very mundane, right? It's like, with real estate, with crypto, it's like, it's very boring technicality stuff that really doesn't make a YouTube video very entertaining, right? And that's a lot of times where people's attention spans are. They want something that's like constantly thriving their adrenaline. And, for me, that was the route that I went for a while, about 3.5 years. And although I did have, some real estate things happen, right? I didn't have any success with making any actual money from it. Had a few listing appointments, had a few, things that just I didn't see fruit at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel type deal. So, I went with the route of creating a YouTube channel. And I think, now where I'm at, going back into the real estate business side of stuff, and like I said, I've done this. I'm on day one, analyzing the difference in the reality of it, and kind of the sideshow we were doing here on the channel are two different things, and trying to figure out a way to elaborate on it more. So I I guess what was the change? How did I become in the real estate business again? Well, I rejoined my real estate association, which in simple terms, I've had my real estate license valid since 2020. I haven't had it active with a real estate membership or a realtor with a little asterisk off to the side, a little copyright R, or whatever, it's all right reserves or whatever, trademark. I haven't had that active since the end of 2000 or the mid of 2023, so about 3.5 years. And what I found today was that real estate is going to be very challenging in 2026 for new people coming into the business and people that are already in the business, right? And I kind of saw that firsthand today with finding out that a lot of my old methods probably are no longer going to work as well. And obviously, the market changes, right? We see all forms, and, if you go back and you watch YouTube videos from 3-4 years ago about any market, there's rarely somebody hitting the nail on the coffin to a precise T in the present day market, right? You hear all about, even us here on the channel, guys, we've had more losses than wins. And I guess my point behind that is today I spent some time talking with for sell by owners, which is something that I have been doing kind of casually. But today really tried to, strategically maneuver that method. And what I was finding is that method it's probably not going to work. That's probably not going to be my main method of choice to acquire real estate clients that therefore turn into transactions, which is ultimately in the real estate business how you get paid. So there's that. So hitting that wall was very very quick. I was very quickly finding out that, okay, the methods used to do probably aren't going to be working because there's less transactions overall happening from a metric standpoint. Like, I can look at real estate transactions, and the amount of transactions is like at an all-time low. Like 2023 was the lowest, which is ironic because that's when I kind of stopped. And then 2024, 2025 have not been substantially better. So the overall amount of real estate transactions that's happening is left to however many realtors or people in the real estate business are out there. So that creates the predicament of that same number of people in the business are going after less opportunity to earn a paycheck. So there was that. So then I kind of thought, all right, so obviously this is not going to be my number one method. What method can I kind of try out, or, what other stuff can I do to generate my own leads or generate a pipeline of clients? And another thing that I did in the past was I paid for buyer leads through Zillow. And it was kind of ironic because a few months back, Zillow kind of hit me up and was like trying to offer me the same kind of, pay for these lead type things, but at a substantial discount. And it was kind of like one of those things when you hear something that cheap from what you paid for in the previous, it kind of feels like the value of it, the value proposition probably isn't as good as it once was, right? At least that's how I felt about it. So I kind of cycled, I kind of got kind of down about it. I was like, oh shit, this sucks, and kind of just sat down a minute to kind of think about, what other things can I do? And I kind of started thinking about these ideas. Like, there probably is a lot of different ideas that I can do, right? I can, I picked up the phone and I started calling divorce attorneys, right? And if you're watching this video, I talked to you today, which is fantastic. You never know who's watching your videos, right? And I'm probably going to try that. I'm going to be trying to reach out to like probate attorneys, because I know how to handle probate. I know how to handle foreclosure. I know how to handle real estate owned, bank owned, and the different steps and procedures with all that. So I'm probably going to start doing that. I'm probably going to lean more towards trying to, how can I get in touch with people through other methods, and talking with attorneys are great, because if somebody's going through a divorce, they usually need to sell their house. It might not be something that happens that date, but I'm in no rush to miss a client, right? And let me say that again. I'm in no rush to miss a potential real estate client. So if I hook up with the right attorneys and things go well, things take a little bit longer to get going. But like you said, I'm not the desperate type. I'm just eager to get this thing going. So there's that. And then I was also thinking about continuing calling the for sale by owners while simultaneously driving to expired listings that I'm viewing through my MLS portal, which is the back-end real estate thing that I joined, right? That you get access to by being a member. So basically I can see where the expired listings happened, and I can just physically drive to their house, knock on their door, and be that guy. Hopefully one of a few, but obviously other realtors have this idea as well. So there's that. And also what I think I'm going to do, and I had this idea previous, is I do have door flyers. I'm going to wait till the weather gets a little bit cooler, obviously, because I'm not trying to get out in the sun and just be passing out flyers every day in the hot summer sun. Maybe move that into the end of the year, when the UV index isn't as high. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of an eye-opener today, because that method worked really well for me before. Like, I was just able to get on the phone, connect with people, and navigate a way in to acquire the listing. And I know there's somebody on the channel that was like, oh yeah, you didn't really even sell that much. I looked at your MLS, but the reason that is true is because I sold homes in multiple MLSs. The Inland Empire, San Diego. The only one that shows up on my web thing is the Orange County. So my territory that I cover is a lot more broad than the typical neighborhood realtor. And usually the neighborhood realtor has been in the business where they're having, referrals, and it's different for somebody that's coming into the business is all. So it's not like, you can just come into the business and all of a sudden you're just fucking killing it. I mean, there's some people that do that, and would love to have a sit down with you conversation if you are. But a lot of times, even those new people that come in have like a family member that and I've seen this firsthand, they have a family member that is feeding them leads, or, the parent is too old to transact, and all the parents of people they transacted are dying. So the new realtor just acquires the family heirloom of that business. And again, I don't want to put this conversation in the wrong direction. Like I said, it doesn't matter how people get listings. If you're getting listings, more power to you. I have none. And today was, kind of an eye-opener that a lot of these methods that I once used are just, they're going to be passive methods. They're not going to be the methods that I think that are going to acquire it. It's going to be a lot of work. It definitely is going to be, I definitely going to have my work cut out for me, because, I thought by getting this MLS, I would just be able to use some of the data feeds in there to, acquire listings, and it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be kind of a boots on the ground take. And I think that's the only way it's going to work. I'm going to be using this channel as a method to facilitate lead generation. And people that watch the channel, that's one thing that they know, is that they can count on my data, because the data that I have is unbiased. It's facts. It's just raw data. You know, I'm not coming on here telling you, oh, the blah, 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 blah number is indicating this. It's just, here's the data. Sometimes it's good. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but it just is that, right? So I think by using this channel as a way to facilitate a business card type proposition for people that are in the San Diego real estate area, you know, I am officially open for business as of yesterday. Technically yesterday after 4 o'clock I went into business, and you know, I have the ability to legally transact on the MLS again, which is fantastic. And it's going to be a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, there's going to be definitely a completely different learning curve, because before it was like I entered the real estate business in a boom cycle, and now I'm entering in a bust cycle. So it's like, you know, it's a completely different beast. Really, the realtors that are selling a lot of homes, and I've looked them up, they've been in the business 20, 30 years, and they have a pipeline that they don't have to do the things that I'm having to do, because the business just comes to them. So I'm not lucky in that department. I'm going to have to generate my own leads, and I'm going to be trying some methods to do so. So like I said, Chadwick Bailey Real Estate is officially open, and it's open for business again. We've been closed for a little bit, but we're completely operating under the umbrella of the MLS, and you know, I think that's a milestone, because a lot of people, I think a lot of, you know, realtors, not really too important, but I mean, it's something that's worth mentioning. A lot of realtors are leaving the business, actually, and I don't know how many hundred thousands, but the National Association of Realtors numbers are significantly down, and I decided to go back into it. So like I said, it's going to take some time, you know, some adjustments. There's obviously, you know, going to be some growing pains that I'm going to see on a day-to-day basis, and probably, you know, talk about some of that stuff here on the channel. But, you know, obviously we'll keep the content coming. It'll be a little bit more strategic in execution. It won't be so broad, like, hey, you know, I'm here, blah, 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 blah. I'll be talking more about the numbers and stuff with the, you know, the various zip codes that we're in. And, you know, if you're interested in, you know, working with me on a business level, or or you're in the business and you want to, you know, collaborate together in terms of content creation, or, you know, I don't have a team yet, but it's, you know, something that I was thinking about too, because you know, when I started in real estate, guys, like, my broker could not believe how many transactions I had just in my first little bit of time starting. And, you know, I plan on doing that now. It's just, I have to find that rhythm, you know. I have to find what it is that works. I have to network with various people, and I have to try my, you know, my methods in a bust market. Like I said, we're not in a boom market for real estate. It is definitely on the downtrend. And, you know, we just have to try different things until something sticks. All right. So if you guys are interested, like I said, Chadwick Bailey Real Estate is officially opened. And, you know, it's not, we'll just see how it goes. We'll just see what things have to go in a certain direction to get transaction volume, you know, going again, right? And that's going to take me. That's going to take Chadwick Bailey, I think. and people like me that are understanding that we have to get the transactions moving again, right? Because they're at an all-time low. All right, so I'm going to be doing a couple different things. I'm going to be trying to shoot more San Diego real estate type stuff. That way I can build my local presence in San Diego and the broader San Diego County. I am open to working with people outside of San Diego. If you're in the state of California, let's talk, right? Especially if you're in the, the Tri-County area, Riverside, Orange County, Los Angeles County, San Bernardino. I am mobile. All right. So, yeah, I got some updates coming for you. Like I said, it's going to be boots on the ground, tours through neighborhoods. I might even try to get some inside some of the listings to kind of show you, the price points and stuff like that as the market moves, right? And yeah, I'm excited about this new chapter to the channel, even though it's really just a continuation of such. And we'll just see. We'll definitely see what methods do well. All right. Catch you guys soon. Take care.